I got a lot of messages yesterday about the video that I uploaded yesterday. Some of them telling me that Meghan Markle didn't know what she was getting into. Let me clarify that for you. Not only did she know, she actively tried desperately to get into the royal family because she knew the privileges that she would get and what that meant for her. The royal family held, I believe, 4 meetings. 2 of those were with Harry, and the 2 of them was with them together to tell them the following: slow down, take a year, get to know how this works to see if you want to be part of it. Harry was told by the royal family about Meghan Markle. Her family tried to tell Harry very publicly about Meghan Markle. And what was the public's reaction? Vilify the father, vilify the sister, and vilify the brother, and anybody who dare speak against their princess, because at that time everybody was in love. And people who tried to say or simply ask questions, I say we because I was one of them, we were completely vilified. I remember questioning why Oprah was there. Now, I don't have a problem with them earning a living at all. But my issue is that they lie to get the titles. And I'm including Harry in it because he knew. If we are to believe from the book about that they planned this before the wedding, that they've been planning this and they talk about years. How many years? They haven't even been married for even 2 years. Meghan Markle wasn't even in the scene for very long. Now, Meghan Markle knew that time was her enemy because she knew that she would be found out. The longer you stay, the longer people dig stuff up. And what was Harry's and Meghan's answer to people questioning their choices? Calling them racist, which is a crime, and it is a crime. Okay, so my issue is that they lied. The privileges that those titles convey are enormous. One of those privileges is access, is the contact list. Because being a working member of the royal family with a title gives you prestige, and people want to be associated with the royal family. Oprah Winfrey did not posted on Instagram, my friend Meghan Markle sent me this. No, because she doesn't want to be friends with Meghan Markle. She wants to be friends with the Duchess of Sussex, which links her to royalty. What did she do? She posted M with a little crown, which I believe it's basically saying that it's a royal warrant. So my issue with them is that they lied. Meghan Markle knew what she was getting into. She knew that she wasn't going to stay. She knew it was hit and run, basically, for her. So when people say she didn't know how hard it was, yes, she did know. She just didn't care. She knew what the rules were. She just didn't care. And I am a big fan of informed consent. They were told, slow down, get to know the firm. And what's more importantly, they were offered they were offered to live like private citizens. So Meghan Markle wouldn't have had any titles. For example, she would have been like Princess Eugenie's husband with no titles, a private citizen. They were given that chance. But of course, they didn't want to take it because they wanted all the privileges, all the breaks, all the perks that come with those titles. And Meghan desperately wanted the titles. I believe that Meghan and people like Oprah, they do have an inferiority complex. They do. They want to be part of the clan. Meghan has been all her life. I mean, that woman, is no stranger to casting mattress at all. So that's what my beef is, because it's harder to take back a title, but in this case, it's not. And again, they were told what it entailed. Harry knew what it entailed. And Meghan Markle, again, she knew and she wanted. So when people say she didn't know how hard, yes, she did know. She actively sought it out. So that's what my beef is. And now the only reason why they're getting these jobs, people are still taking their calls, is because Her Majesty the Queen gave them a year. So what does that mean? And what's more importantly, they already broke the deal a long time ago. And there have been no consequences for every time they break the deal. So that sends a message out there to the people that no matter what they do, They are royal, and that thing's going to happen to them, and they still might return to us. So the companies and the public at large are wondering, well, if they're back into the fold, we don't want to piss off the royal family, because then we won't have access to them. It's a bad thing that they've done, and also because the year gives them tax breaks to help them settle in. Now, nobody has confirmed who's paying for their security. It's only been said, and please read the wording carefully, it's only been said that they are no longer using Scotland Yard police officers. They're using a private firm. But to date, nobody has said who's paying for it. To date, Prince Charles hasn't confirmed that he has stopped giving them money. Now, Netflix nor Spotify have given them millions and millions and millions. They have been signed up, but they still have to produce. So in the meantime, why? Demand the questions. Don't ask the questions. Demand the answers, because the questions have been asked repeatedly. It's time to demand the answers. Who's paying for their security? Is Charles paying for them? Who is giving? Which money is Charles using? Now, the only way that the public, everybody, is gonna understand that there's nothing between the royal family and Harry is if the Queen removes his titles and lets him be like Peter Phillips or Sarah Phillips. They're still in line of succession because they're grandchildren to Her Majesty the Queen. Make no mistake about it. Peter Phillips and Sarah Phillips are still in line of succession, but they have no titles. So if I were Her Majesty the Queen, I would say to Harry, listen, Harry, I'm going to strip you of all the titles, because those titles place restrictions in your life, and it's affecting you and us as well. I will do you that favor so you can't be a private citizen. That's all it has to be done. He still remains in line of succession, but with no titles. What's wrong with that? Isn't that what he wants? So my beef with them is not that they're earning money or that they're trying to earn money. My beef is that they lied. They committed fraud to get the titles because they knew that they were never going to be working for the royal family. Now, the royal family did tell him, you have the choice not to have titles, but that wouldn't have cut it for Meghan Markle, because for Meghan Markle was hit and run. Again, time was her enemy. So when people say she didn't know what she was getting into, that is a lie. People who try to point out at the time, what is Oprah doing there? Because believe you me, there will be a documentary with Oprah filming absolutely everything. And you will see that very soon. That's going to come up very soon. And also she's going to announce that she's pregnant. Now, they are getting all these breaks because of the ambivalence, the lack of action on behalf of Her Majesty the Queen. People say Her Majesty the Queen said March 31st. Excuse me. March 31st, that was if the deal was, if it was respected by both parties. It hasn't. The deal has already been broken. March 31st, in my opinion, is being used as an excuse. Meghan Markle and Harry committed fraud to get those titles because they knew they were never going to be working for the royal family. And again, when criticism started to come out about all the lies that were put out by Meghan Markle and the lifestyle that they were lying to people about, they used their race card to silence people who were pointing out facts and pointing out her lies. She knew that. She knew it was hit and run. That's my opinion. But again, what is most concerning is the lack of response on behalf of Her Majesty the Queen, who's not safeguarding the realm, basically, nor the Commonwealth, nor the reputation of the royal family. And again, no answers have been given by them. There are no statements by Buckingham Palace saying they are paying for their own security. Now, in the worded statement that they said, we don't know if they're going to be coming back as a full-time royals. That leaves the door open that they're still royals. Why? And this is why people like CNN, even, Spotify or whatever, Netflix, are taking their calls. They look for small organizations, because the other organizations that are actually prestigious don't want to take them. And I think they burnt their bridges with Disney because they never gave the money to the elephants. They never did. As far as we know, they had never given it. Disney had to give an additional donation of $3 million because they already said very publicly that they were giving money to the elephants. supposedly through Harry, but of course Harry never gave the money to the elephants, did he? And because it wasn't done through the charities, because they didn't deposit the money in Sussex Royal, they deposited it in Travelist, supposedly. And Travelist is a private organization, then the Charities Commission cannot overlook that. So basically, Disney got screwed. Anyway, that's my opinion. What do you think? But no, she was informed. They were given the chance to be private citizens. They were told to wait to get to know things. And they lied. They lied. So that's fraud. They committed fraud to get all these perks and privileges because, in my opinion, the most important part, aside from the money, is the connections, the access to other people. Because don't forget that the crown, Her Majesty the Queen, is the head of state. Her face is in the money, for crying out loud. And they're linked. It's a head of state. So she's linked to the government and to many governments throughout the Commonwealth. So yeah, it's a very big, important position. And they lied to get it. Because Meghan Markle didn't just want to be Meghan Markle. No hell for her. She needed to get married, get the titles, and get the hell out. Anyways, what do you think? Let me know. Have a good day.